Not a lot of people knew that I was going to flip to, I really had a whole plan to flip to North Carolina.
The number one, tight end in the country.
Adam Breneman, tight end, Cedar Cliff.
And then popped up.
Touchdown! Adam Breneman, a 14-yard strike.
Your recruitment wasn't like wild, but give me your craziest recruiting. Like, what's a good recruiting story? I mean, it got wild a little bit when you had BC and the North Carolina.
I would say that not a lot of people knew that I was going to flip to. I really had a whole plan to flip to North Carolina because I knew their OC, I knew their quarterback coach.
Yeah.
I had a good relationship with Coach Fedora, so like, that was like my dream, not my dream school, but in the recruiting process, they offered me late because they had like 6 quarterbacks on roster. Like as soon as one guy leaves, like, we're going to offer you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it happened. They offered me late in November, middle of the season of my high school year. I said, thank you, but I'm committed to Pitt. And they hit me up, I think, before the Canada News even leaked. They're like, your OC's, the OC's leaving, like, we want you here. Yeah, we want you here. I was so set on, like, it was like 50-50, and one day I was like, I just felt better at North Carolina. Like, I know the staff I'm going to work with. Like, I want to go to North Carolina. So I told my parents, like, I'm going to flip. I had a whole box of gear like shipped to my house because I had to sign like that week to go enroll early. So I had a whole box of North Carolina gear, and my dad like got like a bunch of stuff for like my sister, my mom, my dad like to wear on the signing. And then I woke up like the next day and I was like, screw it, I'm going to Pitt. And I called like Coach Sam. I was like, send the papers now. And he like sent them and I signed it. Like there was no big like ordeal. Like I was in the office of my house, my dad's office. Printed them out, signed them, faxed them back to him, and I was like, I'm done. I'm going to Pitt. So that was definitely probably the craziest.
I mean, UNC would have been a little bit better campus, like
better,
little warmer weather.
Definitely nicer campus. Warmer weather, but I think it worked out.
It did.
Definitely worked out.
It started working out early too. Like your freshman year, you get the start against Miami, you get the big win as a true freshman. What was that? Did you were like, this may work out here at Pitt?
Yeah, I think it was another like going back to when I was 11, and I said I was going to play as a freshman, just like everybody does.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have that mindset, you got no shot.
Yeah.
But like, so I was, I came in with Max Brown too, who was the grad transfer, and like through the first weeks of practice, my buddies are hitting me up like, how's it going? I was like, it's good. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to play, but I was like, I'm going to play.
Yeah. And Max was a big time
five-star. He was the talk of the.
He was the locked in starter.
Locked in starter. Like was the talk of the university, obviously, because he was coming in from USC. Bigger quarterback, taller. Obviously more mature, like a grown man compared to me coming out of high school looking like Bieber pretty much. So
you're not that good looking.
No, but I had the hair like him probably. So he was coming in. I just, there was no talks of me playing as a true freshman. But I was just like, I was just so confident. I was like, I don't know. I just work so hard. Like I'm just obsessed with it. And I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna play. Like I just had that, I'm gonna do it. He ended up getting hurt in Syracuse, and that whole week, like that was week 6, I was on scout team, and you know how that, like I'm not part of the game plan.
Yeah.
Like it's not fun. I'm getting my ass kicked twice a week. We're going live, and I'm a mobile guy.
You were going live in season?
Oh,
that's
dude,
Narduzzi.
That's Coach Narduzzi. Right? Yeah, we were going live, quarterbacks live. You know how the offensive line is on the scout team. Yeah. But that's kind of where like that gamer mentality come in. Like they would tell me to throw a pick. They'd be like, throw it here. Like they want to give them confidence.
Yeah.
So I would like scramble out, and it would be like me to like you guys at the table were like 10 yards away, and I would just step in and throw 100 miles an hour at like their faces, and it would like bounce off there, and I'm like, they wouldn't say anything. I'm like, I'm throwing it right at them. They're just not catching it. But I just like that. Yeah, like it's just being a competitor. I wanted to get off scout team, so I played my ass off to get off scout team. So then Max goes down, so I'm the 3. So the backup goes in, Danucci goes in.
Yeah.
And his helmet gets ripped off. And I have my helmet on. Dude, I saw his helmet go. I just sprinted onto the field. Like, no one told me to go. I was just gone. And they ended up calling timeout to save my red shirt. And then the game goes on. It's the last play of the game. The second to last play of the game. It happens again. His helmet pops off. I sprint out. We don't have any timeouts left. I'm like, screw it. Once I burn this red shirt, I got to play. Like, I'm not going to let him get a chance. So I go out there, and I completed a pass for, like, I don't even know what it was. But we ended up losing the game. And then the season goes on, and me and Ben are kind of splitting time. He plays, better mid-third quarters away through the season, struggles a little bit in VT, and that was the game that Coach Deuce was like, if it's not going great, like we're going to get you in there earlier. Yeah. So it was after the first quarter, I started the second quarter and finished the game. and we lost on the 1 yard line. I threw a glance route to Jester Witt. He took it all the way down to the 1. We thought he scored. So like me and Brian O'Neill are celebrating, like yelling at the crowd. Like the crowd of VT is crazy. And then like you got like they're like, offense, back up, and we're like we like look at each other. We're like, oh, and it's loud there. I mean, it was a packed crowd late in the season. They had a pretty good team, and we get stuffed on the 1 four times. Brutal. Like I would say that was like my first game.
Yeah.
So that was a tough game, and then the Miami game obviously was the next week. And there was talks that like no one really knew if I was starting or not. I think DiNucci was still. It was like Ben DiNucci or Kenny Pickett like on the depth chart, like how they trying to hide it.
Good or.
Yeah, right. Got the start, and I was just like talking to like my family and stuff, friends. It's like number 2 team in the country. Like just go out and just play. Like just go do what I do. And I just cut it loose and made plays with trying to like every down I treated like 3rd or 4th down. Like I was putting my shoulder down. I had to do something to win the team over, and like in those kind of games, like that's how you win like a program over. Like you have guys that rally around you if you show how hard you play, and like the will to win. So like I just did everything to try and win, and that was a good win. That was like our bowl game for the seniors too, so that was special.
It's a huge win.
Huge win. I mean, we had guys like Brian O'Neill was out of there; he left early. Avante Maddox was there. That was a huge win for him. Jester Witt, all those guys were like big brothers to me when I was a freshman. So that was a good win for those guys at end. But that kind of like started my career on a pretty high note.
That game kind of like solidified you as the face of the program going forward.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, after that, I was in the offseason, all the rest of the guys transferred. At one point, I was the only guy in the quarterback room that was left, and they had to get transfers. That's just how college football is nowadays. It's even worse now, but
no doubt.